The following program contains mature subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Today on an all-new Dr. Phil, is her mom's boyfriend
My girls are in her home being molested.
a danger to her kids?
Have you touched these children?
No.
I believe Jason has molested my girl. Jason did this, that's it, because he did it to me.
He touched me. He tried after my shower when I was there.
You're telling me a different story now. You're all over the chart.
Every story
The 7-year-old wrote, I tell everyone Jason touched me, I get pony.
has two sides.
Did you coach these girls?
No, and I've never promised him a pony.
Who's telling the truth?
You are a drinker, a liar. She says you are a sex addict. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by, Dr. Phil.
I try to be an emotional compass and point you in the right direction.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you.
Go, Dr. Phil.
How you doing, guys? Thanks very much. Thanks very much. You know, Tracy has contacted the show not once, not twice, but 12 times about her sister Shelly's boyfriend, Jason. Now, today we're going to meet this family that is completely divided over shocking allegations that pit Shelly and Jason against Tracy, as well as Shelly's daughter, Roxy. We're talking about allegations of abuse and brainwashing. Let me just tell you what today's show's about. We've got two young girls, 9 and 7. There are serious allegations that have been made and sustained over time and made by more than one person that these two young girls have been molested in their own home. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. I'm going to ask some hard questions, and I'm going to get some answers. Now, Tracy wrote to me so many times, desperate to get Shelly to get this Jason, who is accused of this, out of these children's lives. Here's why.
Right now, when I think of Jason, I am so filled with rage. Just this past Christmas, my sister asked if I would take the girls for a week over Christmas vacation. During their time with me, the girls broke down and told me that Jason was touching them. This is the second time that the girls have accused Jason of touching them. The oldest daughter was sitting with me, and a look came over her face, and I said, has Jason touched you inappropriately? And she said yes, and broke down into tears. I asked her, honey, what do you consider inappropriate? And she said, he touches me in my privates. Is it on the outside of your clothes or on the inside? And she said both. And I said, is he touching your sister too? And she said yes. The oldest girl told me that Shelly knew about the abuse, that they had told her, and she didn't do anything about it. I told them that we were going to have to call the authorities. The moment my sister found out that CPS was involved, she became very hateful towards me.
I wanted to let you know, just stay out of my life entirely. And if you have anything to do with the kids, I will make sure you never see them again.
My sister's totally in denial about the girls being molested by Jason. Jason claims that he doesn't remember anything happening because he was drunk. I totally believe the girls are telling me the truth. If I didn't believe it, I would not have reported Jason to CPS. I believe my sister is trying to protect Jason. I believe she thinks he did it, or she knows he did it. I am fighting for these girls because my sister won't.
Jason and Shelly say these allegations are just flat-out lies.
I've been dating Shelly for 3 years. Our relationship has had its ups and downs, but I love her. I have emotionally cheated on her and not held a job, and I've drank too much. I've done some things that I'm not proud of, but what I am being accused of is not true. I am not a child molester. It makes me feel angry, brokenhearted, and frustrated to be accused of this.
The first time was in October of 2014. My youngest daughter came into my room and asked me if Jason would go to jail if he had touched her. And immediately I said yes, and I did go into mother mode. My first thought was, I'm going to kill him, literally going to kill him. So immediately I contacted the police department. During the investigation, the social worker did believe that the girls were being told a lie and that they were being coached. The second time was a couple months later in December. I currently don't know what's going on with the investigation.
I have never touched the girls. I'm not that person. I'm not that guy. I feel that this has just been a huge witch hunt, and I feel like Jesus on the cross as everybody's putting stakes in each wrist and in through my ankles just to watch me hang and die.
Now, these are not your biological children.
No, they're
The-
my biological grandchildren.
Okay, but you adopted these children.
I did.
So they're your children.
They're my babies, yeah.
And they're your daughter Roxy's biological children.
Yes.
But she was unable to raise the children, so you adopted them. So they're yours. You have full parental rights. And are you two married?
No.
Okay, but you, Jason, are living in the home.
Yes.
Okay, and you've been together for 3 years?
Yes.
Okay, and at this point, you've been accused of molesting these children.
Yes.
Have you molested these children?
No.
Have you touched these children ever sexually in any way?
No.
The truth is that children living in a home where there is a non-biological male living in that home are 31 times more likely to be molested than otherwise. So statistically, your girls are at risk. Does that cause you any concern?
I've never put them in a situation where Jason doesn't give them baths. Jason doesn't undress them. Jason doesn't dress them.
31 times.
I hear ya.
Just telling you. That bothered me, because any mother that hears that, if you hear that statistic, wouldn't you go, oh, whoa? Did everybody go, oh, whoa?
I think I'm
Everybody
just...
but you went, oh, whoa.
I think I'm just in the defensive
You
mode.
should be the defender of your children, not your ego.
I agree.
I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. I'm not saying anything's happened here. I don't know. You do allow him to babysit,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Do you drink
Yes.
to excess?
I have not lately, no.
Define lately.
In the last 3-4 months?
So the answer is sometimes yes.
Yes.
So you have a non-biological male in your home that drinks to the point of intoxication, and he's babysitting your children alone without you there. Okay, so I'm beginning to add up some risk factors here. I'm just curious if you are.
Yes.
Are you a sex addict?
No.
Is he a sex addict?
I believe so.
Okay, so we have a non-biological male in the home. That's 31 times the risk factor. He drinks to excess, and he has a sex addiction. I'm just trying to add up what you know. Does he have trouble with boundaries?
Such as, I mean, what type of boundaries?
Respecting boundaries in relationships.
No.
Because he's been in a relationship with you for 3 years. Has he always respected those boundaries?
That's why we had some issues, and that's why we had a separation.
So the answer is no, he has not respected those relationship boundaries.
In the past, he has not.
Okay, okay. So we know it's risky to have a non-biological male around young girls, and we've talked about that, and that's a risk factor. We know that he drinks to excess, but yet is alone with your children. We know that he has problems with relationship boundaries. We know that he's lied to you in the past. We know that you believe that he's a sex addict. So there are those 5 issues and allegations that there have been problems with your young daughters. Okay, up next, Jason and Shelley say Roxy bribed her daughters to lie about the sexual abuse allegations. You won't believe what they say Roxy promised them to say the horrific things they said this man did. We're going to get to the bottom of that when we get back.
I blame Roxy for all of this.
Roxy told the girls that if they would tell everyone that Jason touched them, then she would be able to give them a pony.
My mom is telling everyone that I am telling the girls to say that Jason touched them because I promised them a pony in a house and everything. I never said that.
Shelly and Jason, they have a very tumultuous relationship. When it's good, it's really good. And when it's bad, they call the police. Shelly tells us all of the terrible things that Jason does to her. Jason has been sleeping around on my sister. Jason is an alcoholic. There was even a time when he took my sister's 16-year-old son out drinking. The girls told me that Jason verbally abuses them. The youngest girl has said Jason has slapped her and bit her. What adult bites a child?
Now, Tracy says Shelly's boyfriend, Jason, is a deadbeat dad who she believes has sexually abused Shelly's daughters. Now, Shelly's daughters are actually her biological granddaughters that she has adopted since her daughter, Roxy, was unable to properly care for her own children. Now, Jason says he absolutely did not abuse Shelly's daughters and says Roxy is lying. So let's be very clear. I've talked about risk factors here, but let's be very clear. Jason denies this, flat out, absolutely denies that it happened in any way, ever, period. Correct?
Correct.
Take a look.
Roxy is crazy. I blame Roxy for all of this. These allegations came from her.
One night, my son Chandler came to me and said that the girls really need to talk to you. Both of them were telling me the same exact story. Roxy told the girls that if they would tell everyone that Jason touched them, then she would be able to give them a pony and they could live with her. Roxy had asked them to write it down so they wouldn't forget. And immediately the oldest one ran into the bedroom and grabbed a couple journals. And there was one thing that said, "Live with Roxy, pony, Jason touched us." And it just fell into place. I instantly knew exactly what was going on at that point in time. I just knew it.
Roxy did this to get me out of Shelly's life for good and to possibly get Shelly to lose her parental rights on the girls so she could get them back.
I am just so disgusted with her. I'm ashamed of her. I'm embarrassed to even call her my daughter.
Well, Roxy says she believes her girls were abused by Jason and that they have absolutely no reason to lie.
Jason has raped and molested my girls. He can rot in hell, and I hate him. The oldest one said that Jason would hold her down, put his hand on her mouth while the other girl watched. Jason has tied my girls' hands up behind their backs. That's been going on since they were 5 and 7. My girls are already having periods.
I want Jason to go to prison, and I want my mom to get some help. If she does not willing to get some help after all this, she needs to sit in prison for a while, too, because she knew this was going on.
And my mom is telling everyone that I am telling the girls to say that Jason touched them because I promised them a pony in a house and everything. I never said that.
Okay, now, these are your biological daughters.
Yes,
But why are you not raising them?
because at that time, I wasn't a fit mom.
So they were adopted by your mother?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you so certain that they are being molested by this man?
I got a phone call on October 7th of 2014 from my mother, Shelly, saying that the girls were molested by Jason.
Actually, it was on the 18th of October.
It was the beginning of October.
It was on the 18th.
Around that time, yes.
But didn't they tell you in May
Yes.
that they had been touched?
Yes.
So you
That's
didn't
the
hear
last
about
time
it
I
in
visited.
October, you heard about it in May.
I heard it from my mother on the phone, but I didn't do anything until October when I heard it from Tracy in January.
No, the girls told you in May.
Yes, the last visit that I had
At
in
Shelly's
2014.
house in Montana.
Yes, that they were being abused and hit by Jason.
No, they told you in May that they were being sexually molested at Shelly's house in Montana, and you returned to South Dakota and reported it to CPS there.
Yes, I did.
And that's
Because he
different than what
touched
you're
me.
saying now.
He touched me. He tried after my shower when I was there.
You said the girls told you themselves.
That was stated on October.
No, you told us, and you told CPS in South Dakota that happened in May.
I did call CPS in May, yes.
And that's what you told them in May.
Maybe, yeah.
No, maybe. That's what you told them.
Yes.
And you're telling me a different story now. You're all over the chart. The reason I'm asking you this is because I've been doing this for over 35 years, and I've talked to a lot of mothers of abused children, and it is seared in their brains. And I'm curious why you're fuzzy about this.
I'm not fuzzy. I'm worried about the girls.
On October 18th, you called her and told her that the girls had said Jason had touched them. And you reported it to the police?
Yes, I took him right to the police department.
And so you reported it to the Montana CPS. They initiated an investigation, and on November 25th, they came back and issued a letter. It said, a recent report regarding your family was received by the Child and Family Services Division, and a thorough assessment was conducted. This report is being closed as unsubstantiated. So investigation was done, was found to be unsubstantiated, and it was dismissed at the time. But then, the next month, on New Year's Eve, they tell you
Yes.
that they've been touched. You called the cops, and the children were removed. And there's currently a 30-day investigation going on, correct?
I believe so.
All right. I have a notebook that belongs to the 7-year-old in question. It contains some very disturbing comments I'd like to ask Roxy about when we come back.
I believe Jason has molested my girls. Jason did this, that's it, because he did it to me. 7 months ago, I was with my mom visiting with my fiance and my son, and he tried touching me after my shower. He's put his hand on my privates. He went up my shorts. He pushed me on my mom's and Jason's bed and tried having sex with me. I pushed him away. I left the house and told my fiance the next morning. He's an evil, horrible man that my mom is still staying with, and I don't see why she's with him. I really don't.
Roxy says her mom, Shelley, refuses to break up with her boyfriend, Jason, even though he's been accused of sexually abusing Roxy's daughters. Now, Jason says, look, Roxy is behind all of these false allegations, and in fact, promised the girls a pony if they lied. Did you coach these girls?
I haven't talked to them since May of 2014. She won't let me talk to them.
Well, that's when they reported it. So the coaching would have happened before then.
I didn't, though. Mom's always around when I talk to them.
And why would that be?
I haven't done anything. Ask
Has she
my
had the
boyfriend.
opportunity to coach them?
Behind the scenes through Jason's phone, who was unbeknownst to what you were doing, and your little brother's phone.
I haven't talked to my brother. The only time I talked to my brother was about him.
He's 16. He's a little kid. He's your little brother. And you're sitting there telling me that he's a liar?
It's okay for an alcoholic to be in your home?
And it's
That's
okay that
okay?
you have become a better parent now that you gave up drugs 3 months ago? I doubt that.
You have not been there for my son.
Are you raising your son?
Yes, I've been doing it for 3 years. Without you.
Good, it's your responsibility. I have 2 little girls that have to come first.
You have 2
You're
little
an
girls
adult.
that you decided would be better in foster care than in my home or their dad's.
You know why?
What
That
mom
was
out
chosen?
there would
The
put their kids in
coaching.
foster care?
The coaching is involved, Tracy. There's more than one type of abuse.
I don't
Mental
coach
abuse
the
counts
children.
as well.
Do you think I want this for
How
my
did they-
family, for you? No, I'm doing this
Oh, they
because
just
this
came
is...
over and said, hey, Aunt Tracy, I've been molested. You didn't ask me 3 months prior to this over and over and over and over
Yes,
and over.
because
Can I have
you
the
were
kids? Can I
having
have the
issues
kids?
with him,
I'm gonna
and don't
come
tell
no
me it
matter
was
what. I'm
emotional.
gonna pick them up.
It was not
Way
emotional.
before these allegations, and all of a sudden you make this allegation.
He hired a
after you
prostitute
finally
and had
get them.
sex in his vehicle.
Yeah, you have told me that several times too.
Do you think I want him with you?
Where in the hell did that come
You
from?
also
who? Why
you also
would I
gave me
make it
phone
up?
numbers to call these women of him and talk to them and say, "What's your name? How do you meet Jason?" And they flat out said, "Yeah, I was with Jason the night before."
Even if they were lying about this, don't you think they need to
I
be
don't
counseled?
care about you, Tracy. All I care about are the 2 little girls that are involved in this. Sweet,
So how's your
innocent little
counseling going?
babies.
Huh? How's your sweet little
How's
babies
your
doing in
counseling
counseling?
going?
I don't need counseling.
Oh, you don't?
If I stay here much longer, I might.
Hey, if I listen to this bickering, I'm going to need some counseling. Look, I'm interested in getting to the truth about what's going on about these girls. There are some writings that come from the children. The 7-year-old wrote this, and I'm deciphering. They arrest mom, they arrest dad. I tell everyone Jason touched me, I get pony. Roxy lies, I live Roxy, lie, bitch. Now, is that the handwriting of your 7-year-old?
Yes.
There's another page. Jason touched me. Roxy, bitch. This we had to blur because this child knows a word the child shouldn't know. You, blank you, Roxy lies. And then these children have a pattern where they want to answer yes, no questions. And that often is part of an interview process, by the way, when they're too on the spot or too embarrassed. So they do yes, no. Jason touched me. Yes, no, no. Circled. Okay, we have another page. Roxy calls. Say Jason touched me. Live with her. No, 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 no. Touched privates. Roxy. Mom, jail. Jason, jail. Jason, live, Roxy. Pony. Yes, no. No. Lie. Yes, no. No. Where's this coming from?
In that house.
She tells me everything. She doesn't show me this. I had no idea. I didn't know anything except for Shelly telling me that Roxy was coaching them. When the girls told me, I reported it.
I am sorry, but I never coached the girls, and I have never promised them a pony.
Does this look bad for you?
Yeah. It does. But I don't know why they're saying this stuff.
This isn't all. We're going to find out what the girls told their older brother, this 16-year-old. We're going to see what he has to say because he talked to these girls. We'll be right back.
I love the girls very much, and the girls love me. I consider myself their dad. I'm there every day. I get them up for school. I help them with their homework, make sure they get to the bus, cook them dinner, fix their broken toys. I feel like they're my girls. If Shelly and I were to get married, I would like to put my name on their birth certificates and be their legal dad.
Allegations of lies, sexual abuse, and bribery are breaking a family in half. On one side is Roxy and her Aunt Tracy, who believe Roxy's mom, Shelly, is dating a deadbeat criminal who sexually abused Roxy's daughters. On the other side is Shelly and her boyfriend, Jason. They claim Jason never touched the girls, and Roxy is lying and bribing her girls with a pony and saying they can come live with her. There has been an independent evaluation by Department of Public Health and Human Services, which found no substantiation for any reason to believe these girls had been touched or molested. You asked me, should you have reported this? Yes, of course you should.
And I get backlash from my sister. I'm not out to hurt her at all, at all. I
Yeah.
would want her to do the same thing if my kids came to her.
Yeah, of course. No, if you're upset with her for reporting this, I question
her motivations in getting the girls there. Why did they just come to you? Where's your
asked me to
husband?
take them.
Wait a minute, hold it. What difference does it make if this information is coming to her?
Absolutely.
Would you not want her to intervene on behalf of your girls?
Yes.
You ought to be hugging her around the neck and saying, thank you for stepping up on behalf of my girls. Let me tell you, man, that's causing me to really question your judgment. You should be thanking her for this, and this should be on your center screen radar, because let me tell you, once somebody touches one of your children, that's a hard bell to unring. Now, here's what Shelly's 16-year-old son, Chandler, had to say about the allegations. Listen very carefully to what Chandler has to say.
Hey, Dr. Phil, my name is Chandler, and I am the older brother. Jason is our stepfather, and he has always treated the girls and I just like he would his own kids. There was an investigation done just a few months ago, which was spurred by my little sister saying that he had done some inappropriate things. However, the investigation was ended because the girls came to me and had told me that my older sister, Roxy, was in contact with them, and that my older sister had told the girls that if they made up inappropriate things about Jason, that they would not only get a pony, but they would also be moved in with her. I know that Jason didn't do it. I know there's no way he could have. I know there's no way he did. He wouldn't. And I hope that the girls can be moved into our household as soon as possible, because this has been extremely difficult on the entire family.
He says the girls came to him and told him, you coached them and you told them they would get a pony and come live with you if they would just lie about what that man did.
How am I supposed to coach them when I haven't talked to them really that much? And every time I talk to them, it's on speakerphone. Probably you're coaching them to tell them things. Because you don't like me.
So your theory is that she's coaching them.
Yes.
To say that you're coaching them.
Yes.
To say that he's touching them.
Yes. To make me look bad.
And gain what?
To take my son away. She has said it several times that she does not think I'm a fit mom still, so she can have all my children.
You do have a history of abusing your girls.
10 years ago.
Right?
Yes, 10 years ago.
Because you do have a history with your 9-year-old of shaking her.
Yeah, at the age of 16, I didn't know any better. I had no help with her.
And how old was she at the time that
2 months.
you shook her violently 3 times in
And
one
I
incident?
reported myself in.
The question is whether or not these girls have been subjected to what they are reporting and then recanting.
I totally believed them. It wasn't like, it was, she curled up in my arms, the big 9-year-old curled up in my arms, and we rocked and she cried. And I'm thinking, holy cow, what am I going to do? And then we talked with the younger one, and she said similar things, and they also said, don't tell my mom. And so then a little warning goes off in my head. I'm like, okay, I won't tell her, but we're going to call the authorities and get it straightened out. And if they're lying about it, let's figure out why. If it's this, let's fix it.
Okay, up next, so who is telling the truth here? Who should have custody of the girls? I'm going to tell you what I think when we come back.
Before I wasn't a fit mom, but now I am. I am in a better place.
For them to pop up and say for the sake of the children that they want to be here for the children is just ludicrous. To even doubt who is supposed to have custody of the girls is crazy.
Shelly can be a great mother. She is such a great nurturer and a loving soul. But right now, she is not capable of watching those girls or protecting them.
My mom is saying that I'm not fit, but she's okaying that my girls are in her home being molested. My mom should never get the girls back ever. She's horrible.
Let me talk to you for a minute. First off, we're talking about her getting custody back and all that. There is no custody here. These are your children. The fact that she is their biological mother is no longer a factor. You've adopted these children. They're yours.
Yes.
That means they're your responsibility.
Right.
And that means that it's your job to protect these children and put their interest fully and completely above your own.
Right.
And I went through a whole litany of risk factors with you in the beginning. And you seem a bit oblivious to those.
I heard what you said. I just have a lot of emotions going on right now. I haven't seen the girls in over 2 weeks. I missed them for my whole life, so I'm just kind of.
But you know,
I hear you.
When you've been doing this as long as I've been doing it, I can't tell you how many grown-up girls that I've talked to with mothers that did not protect them. And what they tell me when they look back is they say, I felt devalued. And as a result, I did poorly in school. I got into drugs and alcohol. I was pregnant early on. I became promiscuous. My life spun out of control because I felt devalued because I saw my mother put her romantic interest ahead of her investment in me. She was so worried that this son of a bitch that was touching me or abusing me would leave her. Listen to me, don't shake your head, because I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about stories. This is just hypothetical. Just hear me.
I am. I'm listening.
She was so worried about being left alone. She was so worried about not having someone there that she was willing to sacrifice me for him. And he would lie to her, he would cheat on her, he would beat her, he would leave her, he would get drunk, but she would still cling to him and turn a blind eye to what he did to me. And I've paid for it my whole life. Don't you dare. Don't you dare assume that posture. Don't you dare. You are a high-risk candidate. Would not let you around my granddaughters for 30 seconds. You, sorry, I'm not saying you've done anything or you haven't, but you are a high-risk candidate. Just statistically, I don't know you. Don't know you. Would not let you around my granddaughters for 30 seconds. I'll tell you why. You're a non-biologically related male. Having been trained as a clinical psychologist and in behavioral medicine and practiced across 5 decades, not a chance in hell I would hire you as a babysitter. I just wouldn't. And if there's another non-biological male out, it wouldn't hire them either. Statistically, you're just a high-risk candidate. You drink to excess, which means your inhibition centers get washed out. No way I would put you around my children. You lie. You have lied to her. So I know you are a drinker, a liar, a non-biological male. She says you are a sex addict. Ding, 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 ding. What the hell? Now I don't even want you on the block with my grandchildren. I mean, you see what I'm saying? Would you not say the same thing?
Yes, I would.
And then, bang, infidelity, which means no boundaries. No boundaries. You have now gone from being a good candidate to being a suspect. So at this point, if you don't recognize and acknowledge that, a first-week CPS investigator is going to be looking at you and saying, woman, did somebody drop something on your head? Do you expect us in Child Protective Services to say, sure, we'll bring these two girls back into a home with a non-biological alcoholic male sex addict in the home? Sure, we'll drop them back off. And I'm not saying he's an alcoholic, but I'm telling you, this is what's going to click off in their heads. This is a high-risk scenario. Whether is she a credible witness here? Absolutely, unequivocally not. She's not a credible witness here. She can't even keep her facts straight with me. She has not been successful as a mother in the past. She's sacrificed these two girls and given them over to you. Could she have competing agendas? Of course she could. She may now be extremely jealous of you and having her girls and want the girls back, and she's 90 days sober and thinking, oh, I want my life back. Well, maybe she's sober, maybe she's not. I don't know. But I can tell you this is a high-risk scenario, and if you don't do something in this situation to change it, the chance of those girls coming back to you is very low.
Well, I will then.
So what do you do about what's the plan? What should happen? I'm going to tell you right when we come back. If I was your case investigator, he would have to go until I had every manner of confidence that he had been properly evaluated, taken polygraph test, had been seen by proper psychologist and gone through every manner of evaluation. I highly suspect they're not going to return those girls under any other circumstances. There is one place I personally would feel those girls would be safe right now, and that's with her. Right there. I don't know that you're able to take them or you have the wherewithal to take care of them at this point right now. I would not feel comfortable with them being with Roxy. I would not feel comfortable with them being in this situation. I'm telling you, you got to shuffle your priorities here, because unwittingly, you have these girls in a high-risk situation. And, you know, we're talking about you like you're some kind of monster. I don't know you. I have not evaluated you. I'm just telling you statistically, this is a high-risk situation. You know what I'm saying?
I completely understand what you're talking about.
And I am not saying you've touched these girls, and I'm not saying you have. I don't know. I don't have an opinion about that. I just know you are a high-risk candidate just statistically. Now, I will tell you what I am willing to do. I am willing to get you some family therapist in here that can start to unravel this Rubik's Cube, do these evaluations, make some reports, but they're going to tell the truth as to what they see.
That's what I want.
And their status report as of today would be what I'm telling you right now, that this is a high-risk situation for these girls, and there are going to have to be some immediate changes made. Then they're going to start evaluating him, and they're either going to say, you know, good housekeeping seal of approval or not. And if you agree to do all of that, I will put that in motion immediately.
Yes, please.
So as not to delay the situation. So we have a report. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
We do that? All right. I want to thank all of my guests today. Be sure to log on to drphil.com for more information. We will see you next time. Thank you so much.